colors of the rainbow, all the voices of the wind. A mother's love reaches out, 'cause she knows where love begins. Like every word of every story, like every star in every sky, like every corner of creation, she lives to testify. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. I'll be a witness in the silences when words are not enough. And with every breath I take, I will give thanks to God. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. From the mountains to the valley, from the rivers to the sea, a mother's hand reaches out, and every hand that reaches back, she offers peace. Like every simple act of mercy, and every step to kingdom come, all the hope in every heart will speak what love has done. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. I'll be a witness in the silences when words are not enough. And with every breath I take, I will give thanks to God. For as long as I shall live, I will testify. I will testify to love. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. I'll be a witness in the silences when words are not enough. And with every breath I take, I will give thanks to God. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. I'll testify to love. I'll testify to love. I think that's my absolute favorite Mother's Day song. Of course, I changed a couple lyrics to make it about mothers, but it's a great song. Okay, so my precious Sweet Peas Choir is back in business. And I'd like to invite them up to sing this next song. Make sure all the mics are on.
Sisters, we are friends, we are teachers, we are leaders, we are women, hear us sing. We are beauty, we are gracefulness to all who come our way. Our hearts are soft, our spirits strong, we are the women of today. Oh, we are the voices of today. Oh, we are the spirit of today. We are
here
to love you as you are.
we are
Courage,
we are
passion,
we are
still.
we are
Our hearts are soft, our spirits strong. We are the women of today. Oh, we are the voices of today. Oh, we are the spirit of today. Oh, we are the women of today. We are the spirit of today. We are mothers, we are daughters. We are sisters, we are friends.
so good friends.
We are white, we are black.
Colors in between.
We are young, we are young.
All the women of today.
We are timeless, we are present. Our hearts are soft, our spirits strong. So soft, so strong. We are teachers, we are leaders. We are beauty, we are grace.
Wow, wasn't that awesome? Wow. So I'm going to come in and just sing right here with you. So we're going to do our first congregational. Everybody want to stand? We're going to celebrate. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Spirit, should you come up?
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends.
Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. My glorious, my glorious, my glorious life. My glorious, my glorious, my glorious. And we're going back to the top. Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this Mother's Day. This beautiful, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Let's do that again. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this Mother's Day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Yes.
Nice, thank you. Thanks to the Sweet Pea Choir. Yay! Back in their little secret lair there. Okay, thank you, Melba. Thank you, everyone. Well, hello and welcome to this beautiful Sunday. Are you ready to celebrate a beautiful day? Yes. So today we are finishing up our last in the series of This Is Us by Reverend Linda Martella-Whitsett and her daughter Alicia. This life is yours. What did I just say? This is us. That's a series. That's also a series. We have not been covering that series. Just making sure you're all awake. Yes, Juan, we've been doing This Life is Yours. And we're going to wrap that up today. And it's all about reinforcing your wholeness, but through inspiring stories. So how perfect that we wrap it up today on what I call Mothering Day. And we get to celebrate lots of stories of women who've done incredible things. But today is really about the nurturer, the caregiver. And that can be all of us, no matter who you are, No matter how you identify, you are a caregiver, you are a nurturer, you are that love expressing in every moment. So, whether you have children or not, doesn't matter. You get to mother yourself. So make that commitment right now. For this moment, for this hour, for this day, I'm going to nurture myself. I'm going to caregive myself. Can you drop into that space? Yeah. So let's start with prayer then, since we've dropped there into our hearts, where we give thanks for this beautiful day, a day to celebrate the trailblazers, the nurturers, the caregivers, and love itself. A day in which we can celebrate the love that we are and that we express, and the love that we receive from others. We give thanks that today our foundation in which we move forward is that of love. Love goes before us, love follows us. Love is on either side of us, above us, below us, surrounding us. Love is our support system. And so we give thanks for the love that moves through each and every individual who's been a part of our service today, and for each and every individual who's here in their seats or online. Together, our hearts beat as one as we take a breath of thanksgiving for this day of remembering I am love. We whisper that, I am love. And so it is. Amen. So again, welcome to this beautiful Sunday, everyone. I look forward to our hour together, and I look forward to more fantastic music from Reverend Sherry Hersey and Tommy Reeves. Happy Mother's Day, Tommy. Thanks for supporting me and nurturing me when you're up here every Sunday.
I'm glad to do that.
Thank you. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Thank you, everyone.
Child receives protection from a mother's warm embrace. We are held in the hands of grace. We are held in the hands of grace. Forever safe in the arms of love. Like a child receives protection from a mother's warm embrace, we are held in the hands of grace.
We are held in the hands of grace, forever safe in the arms of love. Like a child receives protection from a mother's warm embrace, we are held in the hands of grace. We are held in the hands of grace.
Yvette, one of the prayer chaplains here at Unity of the Oaks. Today I will be available to pray with you in the room just left of this door. And I also have the honor of preparing us for meditation by reading the daily word. Today is Sunday, May 14th, 2023. The word is blessing for mothers. The affirmation, I bless the divine feminine thoughts of gratitude. Today, I bless the women in my life who express love in all they do. Whether it's a woman who raised me or any of the other women I know who generously shared a mother's love. I have felt the care of the and encouraging words. Over the years, I have grown strong and confident under their direction and have relied upon their wisdom. The divine feminine flourishes on earth in the loving words and caring hands of mothers and all of those who share a mother's love. I bless them and pray they know the love of God as they have shared it so generously with me. From 2 Kings 4:30. Then the mother of the child said, as the Lord lives and as you yourself live, I will not leave without you. Again, the word is blessing for mothers. The affirmation, I bless the divine feminine with thoughts of gratitude.
Thank you, Yvette. So for our time of meditation today, our meditation will be coming from This Life is Yours. But I first want us to settle in for that time of meditation. And today I invite you to again drop into that heart space where love is found, where your loving kindness towards self, your compassion towards self is found. So taking a breath, and as you exhale, allowing yourself to get even more comfortable in your chair, allowing yourself to feel heavy and supported by the chair, allowing your eyes to close or to find a spot just before you to gaze upon. And taking another breath in through the heart and out through the heart. Dropping even more deeply into a space of compassion for yourself, a space of forgiveness for yourself, a space of loving kindness for yourself. If there is something that you feel you need to forgive yourself for, whether it was a moment ago or 10 years ago, whenever it was, whispering to yourself, I forgive you. I forgive you. I bless you for that level of consciousness that I was at that time. I see my current self hugging that self, that part of me that still is needing that forgiveness. And then we go back to breathing in love. And as we exhale, we allow that love to fill us, to anchor us deep within. we hear these words and we allow them to be our own. It's centered in my awareness of an infinite source and universal mind. I breathe and know I am enough. The past is no longer here and the present has not occurred. I only have this moment, and in this moment I breathe and I know I am enough. In this moment, within this heart space, in this space of self-compassion and love, I know I am enough of power, of wisdom, and of strength. I know I am enough understanding, order, will, and release. I know I'm enough faith and zeal, imagination, and life. I am enough. Although I'm not all of God or source or mind all at once, I am enough of that infinity. I am enough for this moment of need and realization. I breathe. I am enough. Whenever my personal memories give me the false impression of not being enough, I deliberately turn from my past and claim my divine identity. In this moment, I claim my divine identity. I whisper, I am divine. I am enough of that infinity. And in those times when I interpret the words or actions of another as a judgment of my inferiority, I choose to disclaim my errant thoughts in favor of the truth, which is, I am enough. Whenever I experience a failure or a setback or a disappointment, I remind myself that I am courageous enough to strive for fulfillment. In this moment, I affirm my strength of character to know that every circumstance and every experience appear for love. Love is the great magnet of the universe. Love is the great magnet of the universe. Love is the great magnet of the universe. My calling to be unified and whole in every experience comes back to being love. I am enough of divine love for everything and everyone I encounter every day. I am enough of divine love for everything and everyone. I am. I am. And so I take another moment to offer up a gift of gratitude for myself. A moment to offer up a word of love and kindness to myself. As I come to the end of my time in meditation, I am reminded that love is that blanket, comforting me, surrounding me, and supporting me. And I am an expression of it. And so as I whisper to myself, I love you. I love you. I feel the love swirl within. I feel my heart grow. And it is in the heart growing that it expands and the wave of love goes out into my world. And it comes back to me right here, right now, in this place, at this time. So I breathe in the knowing. As I begin to wiggle my fingers and toes and become aware of the chair supporting me and the people around me, my heart is uplifted with joy, celebration, and thanksgiving for what has occurred, and what will be moving forward. The vibration of love I have set forth in motion, I celebrate as I begin to take another breath of awareness, awakeness, of right here-ness. As I say thank you, thank you, thank you for these times, for this remembrance. As I take another breath, wakening myself up, slowly opening my eyes when it's right for me, as we give thanks. And so it is. Amen. Nice to see our Sweet Pea Choir, huh? Let's give them another round of applause. And they have a couple new members, too. That's exciting. Yay. Okay, well, everyone, it's Mother's Day, although I prefer the British term for Mother's Day, which is Mothering Day. It indicates it's a verb, it's an action, which is what motherhood is. But also, mothering means that we can, no matter if we have children or not, no matter your gender, you can mother, you can be in the act of mothering yourself. You can be in the act of mothering someone else. So each of us can be mothering. I want to also start with just acknowledging, I know that for some people, today can be hard. They may have a difficult relationship with their mom, something that they're going through with their mom or still working through. So I encourage you, if that applies to you, to think of another person who was nurturing to you, who was mothering to you. Maybe it's an aunt, maybe it was a grandmother, maybe it was a neighbor, a friend, a mentor, a teacher, because all of them can be mothering as well. So today is really, really about celebrating women and also the nurturing quality within each and every one of us. So we celebrate women, but we also celebrate that nurturing quality that is within each and every one of us. So we're finishing our series, as I've mentioned, This Life is Yours. And the last two chapters, it fit great because the last chapters share your story and inspire others. Right after, reinforce your wholeness. So when we share our stories, we have that opportunity to reinforce our wholeness, and how appropriate for this Mothering Day that we celebrate women and some of their inspiring stories. But first, I wanted to read this paragraph from the book from, again, Reverend Linda Martella-Whitsett and her daughter, Alicia Whitsett. Here's what they write. We all have a story to share. The stories you share of your courage and conviction, your resilience and optimism, your resourcefulness and creativity, you will inspire others. Moreover, as you share your story, you reinforce it. You inspire yourself. So every day, live fully and tell the story of your wholeness. As you know, if you've been here a while, I share often my stories of my health challenges or other life challenges. And I do that so that you don't feel alone. So you don't feel like you're the only one who's going through it. So that maybe there's a little glimmer of hope. And also maybe an idea or a possibility of a new practice or a spiritual tool or healing process, whether that's a physical challenge, a mental, emotional, spiritual. But in sharing our stories, what I've learned is it can inspire but also give hope to and encouragement to other people. I've been there. I know. I can understand. Because, see, we've been sharing stories through the beginning of time, right? Since we've been communicating with one another, we've been sharing stories. And the sharing of the stories help connect us to one another and remind us of our oneness. So since today is Mothering Day, I thought I would tell some stories of inspiring women that seems to fit in well. And the first one I wanted to start with was the grandmother of Unity. We don't often talk about her, Mary Fillmore. Here she is. The eldest one. I know they all look old. There's the Fillmore family. Mary Fillmore, or called Grandma Fillmore. So you see here, here's Charles, Myrtle and Charles, and their three sons, Lowell, Rick, and Royal. And then Grandma Fillmore was always there. Now, she raised Charles Fillmore. She raised him and his brother as a single mom in the 1800s. They lived in a log cabin in Minnesota where the winters got below 40 degrees. And the only heat source was the fireplace, was the fire that they built in the log cabin. She was hardy, she was strong. They said in the book of the history of Unity that there was trappers and traders going through. It was almost like a Huckleberry Finn type of existence. So she was a strong woman. And I can remember, my early 30s, early 40s, when I just started to take some of the Unity classes for credit. At that time, starting to go towards certification as a certified spiritual educator with Unity. And so I had 2 young boys and all their activities, and I was taking these classes. At certain points, I was working maybe, a day or 2 a week also. And I remember sitting down with Reverend Molly, my minister at the time. And I was the youth director, too. So I was the youth director, so I was there every Wednesday. And I remember sitting down with Molly, and I said, how did Myrtle Fillmore do it? She raised 3 boys. She was running and expanding a national prayer ministry. She was creating a spiritual movement with her husband. How in the world did she do it? And I can remember clear as day, Molly sitting next to me and turning to me, and she said, Stacy, she had Grandma Fillmore. And in fact, when they moved to Unity Farm, which is now Unity Village, and I know Lynn's our new coordinator. He's like a Unity buff here. So you'll have to confirm this story for me, Lynn's. But the story goes that when they moved to Unity Farm, now Unity Village, they built a house for the Fillmores, Charles, Myrtle, and the 3 sons, and one for Grandma Fillmore. It was Grandma Fillmore's house that had the kitchen. Myrtle did not have a kitchen. This makes me respect Myrtle even more. What a fantastic idea. It was Grandma Fillmore who was helping watch the boys, who was cooking all the meals. She was the one that helped Myrtle and Charles, but Myrtle, since we're talking particularly about women today, Myrtle do her work that she was here to do. It was because of Grandma Fillmore that Myrtle could fulfill her purpose. So it's such a good reminder to us caretakers. Again, whether you're caretaking for children or parents or a neighbor, we can't do it alone. We need a support system. We need each other. That's why community is so important. So that reminder that, sometimes, and again, sometimes I look at these movie stars or whoever, famous folks, and I'm like, how do they do it all? And then I remember, oh, right, they've got their people, right? We all need our people. So Grandma Fillmore was that for Myrtle and Charles. So then I went down a little bit of a rabbit hole, because then I thought, well, who was the mother of America? Who is the mother of the United States? And the great news is, everybody, is that there were quite a few names that came up. I love that, because oftentimes, as you may or may not know, women get left out of history. So I was very excited that there was quite a few names that popped up. And in one list, 8, and there was 3 that really stood out to me. So the first one being Abigail Adams. Of course, she lived between 1744 and 1818, and she was the wife and first lady to the second president, John Adams. But I love this. She wrote a letter to her husband on the cusp of the U.S. independence, advocating for more rights for women. Yay, I know. I heard the yay. Yes. Can you imagine? Hey, more rights for women. She believed that women should have, are you ready for this? It's a quote. More say in the decisions of the household rather than just being caretakers. Yeah, that's what she was fighting for. Wow. But even more so, historians say that she really was an advisor to her husband. And also she continued throughout her lifetime for equal education for women and for, this is a good one too, women's property rights throughout her lifetime. She advocated for that. So if you own a home or a car and you're a woman, guess what? Thank you, Abigail Adams. Yeah. But it's that reminder that what's important to you will be important to other people. That what's important to you will have a trickle effect, right? That ripple in the water. That as you go forth with your passion and purpose, it affects other people. Hundreds of years later. Another one I found as far as when I looked up mothers of the United States. Does anyone know the name Deborah Sampson? I wish I had a picture of her. So Deborah Sampson lived between 1760 and 1827. She's known as the hero of the American Revolution because she disguised herself as a man in order to serve with the Patriot forces. She went on to become the only woman to receive a military pension for her services in the Revolutionary Army, and the first woman to go on a national lecture tour of the United States. She set the course in motion for women to serve in the military all the way back in 1781. It took quite a few decades later, but she planted the seed. How inspiring. And so the question for my own self was, wow, what can I do that's maybe both scary and brave that would push my growing edge, that would push my comfort level? What could I do that would just help me grow that much more and do something that would make a point, make a difference, right? And then last, as far as the mothers of the United States, I went to Elizabeth Schuyler Hamilton. Of course, if you've seen the play Hamilton, you know her. She lived between 1757 and 1854, and she was, of course, the wife of founding father and Treasury Secretary Alexander Hamilton. Can't say that without singing the song now, right? But her legacy, and this is what I loved when I heard this story, but her legacy was that she was the founder of the Orphan Asylum Society, which was New York City's first orphanage. I can't even think of a world without an orphanage. Like, where did kids without parents go? In the street. So it was Elizabeth Hamilton, Eliza, that opened New York City's first orphanage, and she started the Hamilton Free School, which provided free education to low-income children. And she did both of these to honor her husband, because her husband grew up as an orphan and also could not afford an education without the help of others. And so it was in his honor, and it's because of her commitment to it, that these programs have grown to today. So again, being inspired and asking, who is someone important to you, and how can you honor them? How can you be inspired by something that they did or experienced so that you can create a change in the world? How can you assist in honoring their legacy? That's what that inspirational story says to me. Okay, let's skip to more modern history, everybody. 2015 is the year. I know, it's just like last year, right? Turns out it's like 8 years ago. And maybe you've heard this. I'd heard this story too. It's a woman named Sarah Cunningham from Oklahoma. Sarah Cunningham started the organization called Free Mom Hugs. Now, back in 2015, some of you know, she was a self-described devout Christian when her teenage son came out as gay, and she initially rejected him. And then she started sitting with the question, but why, if God makes everything perfect, why would God not make my son perfect? My son must be perfect too. And as she was sitting in that question, she overheard and saw this conversation happening outside her window. Her son and one of his friends had come over, and the friend had had self-harm, cutting on his arm, and was talking about being rejected from his own family because he was gay. And she said that actually, to see the self-harm and to hear that story is what really pushed her into action. And so she had a healing with her son, And she started in 2015 Free Mom Hugs. So at Pride rallies and parades, which she usually organizes in Oklahoma, she gives hugs and she says, I give hugs the way a mother should to anyone who needs one. And in 2018, she posted on social media that she would be a stand-in mom to anyone needing a mother at a same-sex wedding. This is how I first heard about her, because the response was overwhelming and caused other women to post the same, myself included. I said, I also will be a stand-in mom. And now I can officiate your wedding. I can do both. And she said it came at a cost. She lost some family and friends, but what was interesting that some of them came back when they found themselves in similar situations. But she has traveled the country over these last 8 years to help shed shame and fear that parents whose children come out within that LGBTQ plus community. And she says, it makes my eyes water when I think of just the outpouring of love and community that is there. This is what it's all about. So do you see the wholeness as we've been talking about wholeness and healing? Do you see that the wholeness was there within her, and yet she allowed this healing to happen with herself? And in doing that, she came into an even bigger understanding of her own wholeness. She embraced her wholeness. She embraced the inherent wholeness of her son and of herself. And in doing so, what happens is she continues to invite others to do the same, to have that same healing, to recognize the wholeness. I was reflecting then on my own family. Didn't have time to get their pictures, but just imagine they look something like that. Oh no, sorry, go back one. Yeah, there we go. Just pretend like this is like my Grandma Mary and my Grandma Liz, okay? So first Grandma Mary, my Grandma Mary is my maternal grandmother, and she was always busy helping other people, always racing around. And the last few years of her life, she lived at a senior complex, and she was also racing around helping deliver meals. And I can remember visiting her, and she was about 82 at the time, and I think I was about 28, 29, and I went up the coast to visit her and my other grandmother. So I stayed with her for a day or so, and I was about to leave. I was saying goodbye, thank you for this time together, you know. And she was just too busy because she was like, okay, I got to hurry. I got to get out of here because I got to go deliver meals to the old people. And I thought with my 28, 29-year-old mind, aren't you the old people? But see, she didn't see herself as old. And she saw herself as needing to continue to help others up until she couldn't anymore. She was always helping family and those in her neighborhood, her senior complex, up until the very end. She didn't claim the oldness. Then I have my Grandma Liz, who's my paternal grandmother, who really helped raise me for the first 10 years of my life. She was quite an influence on me until she moved up to Northern California when I was about 10. And yet there was times when I was an adult, when I had my young family, when something crazy would happen in the world, whether it was 9/11 or some other dictator doing something. And I would call her because I figured, you know, she died in 2012 at the age of 96. And so I knew she had seen a lot. I knew she'd experienced a lot. And so I would call her. And sure enough, she was always calm. I'd be like, Grandma, what is going on? And she would just be calm and say, yeah, it's happened before. We tend not to learn. It will be okay. And then she always did a quick pivot to, how are your boys? Make sure you love those boys. Do you see the message there? The world can be falling apart. The world could be on fire. But what really, really matters is love. Put your focus on the love in front of you. That's what I learned from her. And then we go to my own mother. Yes, we'll go to that slide now. Some of you have met her. She was the Easter bunny here on Easter. That's us having drinks. I told the waiter not to put any alcohol in hers because she does not need it. So as I've said before, I was a very shy young girl. And so having a very outgoing, silly, animated mother, you can imagine she embarrassed me all the time. But also what it meant was she cheerleaded me through life. She cheerleaded me, my brother, my kids, my husband. She was at every game, softball, volleyball I did. Sometimes, most of the time, she was also a coach or a manager of that team. I was remembering when Juan was in his 20s, early 30s, he started to do a lot of writing for newspapers and different newsletters, and she gave him a scrapbook so he could start putting in what he had published in there. For my own kids, she was at every play, every game, every birthday. She's the one who taught me the importance of celebrating birthdays. Just making a person feel so, so special. How easy is it for us to make another person feel special and supported? And my friend Elena, my 20-something friend Elena, she saw that I had posted, "Hey, you have any mom stories?" And she said, "You know what? I have such wonderful memories of my mom sitting on the edge of my bed at the end of each day when I was in middle school and high school, listening to me talk about whatever drama was going on in my teen years. And she always knew just what to say, but more importantly, she listened. She just sat and listened and held my hand and let me know everything was going to be okay no matter what I shared with her." She said, "My mom lives on the East Coast now, so with the time difference, it's hard to connect at the end of the day. And I really miss these talks. I miss her sitting on the edge of my bed and listening." Listening. Holding a heart. Making someone feel special. Doing something that can help another person or group feel seen, feel important, and feel worthy. See, as we take inspiring action, we inspire others to do the same. In taking inspiring, but really it's heart-centered action, we embody our wholeness, our spiritual truth. All of us, female, male, non-binary, can embrace the action of mothering, of nurturing others, of nurturing self. And by doing so, we embrace our wholeness. And so today and any day that maybe you have painful or uncomfortable feelings that come up, just see them, acknowledge them, step into that healing process, because whatever comes up for you today or any day with feeling means that you're ready to release it. Maybe this much today, maybe this much next year or next week. But whatever comes up, it's there to be seen and acknowledged and released. So today we can honor those who did model forgiveness and unconditional love and nurturing. Whomever that was in your life, today we honor whoever did model forgiveness and unconditional love and nurturing. So the reminder for us today, practice being. I wrote a little note in the book. Have I been practicing being love? Have I been practicing being peace? Have I been practicing being compassion, being wisdom? Have I been practicing being in the flow? Have I been practicing being open to what wants to emerge? Have I been practicing being? Because when we practice being, we're practicing the art of mothering. When we practice being, we are expressing our wholeness. And so as we wrap up our series today, just remembering that healing happens right where you are, and that this life is yours. Blessings, everyone.
So odd being up here by myself. But I am. I'm here by myself. That's okay. I've done it before. Well, were they clapping for being by myself? They're clapping. All right. Well, this song doesn't really have much to do with Mother's Day. I suppose it could. I sing this song to my lady, Sarah, because it describes her and her love. Right, Sarah? All right. I've been a million places in my life and time. I've sung a lot of songs. I made some bad rhymes. I've acted out my life on stages with 10,000 people watching. And we're alone, and now I'm singing this song for you. I know your image of me is what I hope to be. I've treated you unkindly, oh darling, can't you see? There's no one more important to me, darling, can't you see through me? We are alone and I am singing this song for you. You taught me precious secrets of love withholding nothing. You came out in front and I was hiding. But now I'm so much better if my words don't come together. Listen to my melody, 'cause my love is in there hiding. I loved you in a place where there's no space or time. I love you for my life. You're a friend of mine. And when my life is over, remember when we were together. We were alone and I was singing this song for you. Place where there's no space or time. I love you for my life. You were a friend of mine. And when my life is over, remember when we were together. We were alone and I was singing the song for you. We were alone and I was singing the song for you.
Good morning. Happy Mother's Day. I am Jules, your board member of the day. Here is our mission. If you'll please read it with me with enthusiasm. Unity of the Oaks is a loving, accepting, and heart-centered spiritual community here to be love in action, to encourage personal growth, awaken spiritual curiosity, and transform lives. We will be passing the offering baskets down the rows. If you've given electronically, bless the basket with an energy offering, then pass it along and hand it to the row behind you to keep it going. We have an ambassador to help you. We have several ways for you to give. In the seat in front of you are envelopes for cash or check. Include your name if you like a record for your donation. You will also find cards with our texting information. Take this moment now to use your phone to give if that is your preferred method. For our online congregants, you can also go to our website and click on Give. No matter how you give, know that your gift is a way for you to financially partner with us so that we can continue to be a place of spiritual teachings and community in the Thousand Oaks and beyond. Your gift allows us to continue to spread the unity message of positive, inclusive, practical Christianity, along with the personal and spiritual growth, and so we may also experience more inner peace and joy in our lives. Now join me in taking a moment to focus our attention on your giving heart. Feel the abundance of receiving. Visualize the mission statement coming to life. Now please join me in the love offering blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love and I trust God. We are most grateful for all of your contributions to our community as we grow it with lots of events and classes, which is what Suwan is going to tell you all about.
Hi. Hi, happy Mother's Day. I am Suwan, and here are a few reminders for us. We have 3 reminders for today, all of which can be found in the newsletter we mail out monthly, the weekly email letter, and on the calendar in the back of the room above the giving information. Sign up now for study groups. Yay! We're doing a 5-week series with small group discussions on the book Birthing a Greater Reality, a Guide for Conscious Evolution with Robert Brummett. Study groups are different than the book club because it's a way to go deeper into the Sunday lessons and create your goals for the week. We have 4 different times available. Sign up on the website today. And the book club meets the last Sunday of the month, which is May 28th. We will be discussing The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse by Charlie Mackesy. Thank you. And corresponds with the movie. So I explained the difference between the book club and the study groups, so definitely go to both of those. They're going to be so much fun. And save the date for the one-day women's retreat, Diving Within, listening to My Soul's Calling, July 29th, here in our sanctuary. We have flyers near the posters in the living room area with more information. Please take one of those. Sign up on the website calendar now for early bird pricing. It's going to be very fun. And there's so much happening in our church. Be sure to be on the email mailing list and check out the mini posters on the back shelf in the back of the room, along with April and May and June calendars, and of course on the website too. And now some thank yous from Reverend Stacy.
Okay, don't go anywhere, Suwan, because first it's Suwan's last day. Oh. So, Suwan, we have these flowers for you. You get to be like the homecoming queen. There you go. There you go. No, don't go away. I don't know, because you literally are on stage all the time. Suwan, we want to thank you so much for over a year of service as our Sunday and special events coordinator. You have brought light, joy, creativity, order, peace, friendship. So thank you. So can we give Suwan our blessing, everyone? Suwan, we love you. We bless you. We truly appreciate you. And we behold the Christ you are. Namaste. And thank you so much. She will be around still, just not in this role. But thank you. Okay, thanks, Suwan. And make sure then you say hello to Linz, who is here and will be stepping into her role. And so we have a beautiful transition, right? Change is all we can count on. So thank you to everyone who is in a caregiving, mothering, nurturing role. Thank you for what you bring and give to other people. We do have a prayer chaplain. That's Yvette today. Yes, to pray with you after service in this room off to the right, your left. We do have a special cake, I know, that we brought. Thank you, Jane Brown brought a special cake for Suwan's last day to celebrate Mothering Day, but mostly for Suwan. We want to thank her, right? So we have a big cake. Make sure you get some cake and say thank you to Suwan. And then also prayer is there as well. So if you need prayer, Yvette will be there. We have a prayer box in the back as well if you'd like to put a prayer there, or you can always email us at prayer@UnityoftheOaks.org. Thank you for joining me today, everyone. This is your life. You are whole, you're beautiful, and you are an extension of the one power, one presence, love. So have a beautiful, beautiful Sunday. Let's stand and sing the peace song, and together we'll say the prayer for protection. Happy Sunday. Join me as we say the prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love. The power of God protects us. We are the power. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Amen. Happy Sunday.